Welcome to the Therapist and the Wildcard, the show about grief, mental health, and all the messy stuff in between. One of us helps people heal for a living, and the other probably needs more therapy. Together, we keep it real, raw, and sometimes ridiculous. Welcome to the Therapist and the Wildcard. Last time we were talking about Chris and how he and I met, and today we're going to talk about how it all ended, unfortunately.
Why am I laughing and you're not?
Because my husband died, you sicko.
Wow. Okay.
We have dark humor. You've heard the story.
You're right.
So-
I do know the story. I know how everything went down. And last time we wrapped up by letting you know that he just did not wake up on Labor Day morning. So, all right, Vit, let's get to the nitty gritty here.
September 2nd, 2024.
What was that day like for you? How did things go down?
It was fucking awful.
For sure.
And I can literally remember it like it was yesterday, which sucks.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so it was around 6 something in the morning, a little before 6:30, I want to say. And I got up to go to the bathroom, and he was sleeping in a weird position, which wasn't super uncommon for him to be just wildly on the bed. So I went to the bathroom, and we were in the hotel. So like the area was small. It wasn't like, I had to go far.
Right.
And I'm in the bathroom, and it just felt weird. It was just like eerily quiet. Like he was a snorer. I didn't hear him snoring. I didn't hear him, like when you're sleeping with your partner and one gets up and moves, like you kind of toss a little bit.
Yeah.
And he didn't do that, which again, he was a hard sleeper. So like nothing super alarming at first. And I literally was half asleep when I was walking to the bathroom. And so I got out of the bathroom and I instantly went over to him to wake him up, and was unsuccessful. I was just like, babe, wake up. I was like shaking him. He was on his stomach. And so I would just tried shaking the shit out of him, screaming for him to wake up. And then at one point I did stop and kind of look at his back to see if it was moving, and it wasn't. And that's when I had called 911. And at that point, I don't know if it had registered yet that he was gone. I just know when I was on the phone with 911, I just kept saying, my husband's not breathing, my husband's not breathing. It wasn't like my husband's dead. That wasn't a thought process yet.
Goodbye, Oscar.
So yeah, I called 911, and they were like, is he on his back? Is he on his stomach? And I was like, he's on his stomach. They're like, you have to get him to his back. And I was like, he's a bigger guy. I don't know if I can. And she's like, I just need you to try. I don't know how I did it. I think the way he was positioned kind of helped.
Okay.
Because for some reason, his legs were off the bed.
Okay.
Yeah, he was kind of backwards on the bed. He was angled, but his head was towards where the feet would be. And then his legs were angled towards where the head would be.
Okay.
But again, I have pictures of him sleeping like that in the house.
Right.
Because I'm like, who sleeps like that?
Who does that? Yeah.
So the way he was positioned, I was able to kind of grab his shoulder and get him onto the ground. And they wanted me to do chest compressions. And I just remember screaming it's not working. It's not working. When are they going to be here? And she's like, they're on their way, lights and sirens. And they had gotten there quick. I will say that. Like,
Yeah.
they got there quick. And they just, like, stormed in. Like, so many of them. I was just like, whoa. And I don't even know how I got out to the hallway. I honestly don't know. Like, the next thing I know, like, they're walking in and I'm sitting on a stretcher in the hallway. MedStar is just asking questions. You know, where's, you know, what was he doing the last time, you know, he was
Right.
alive and this, and I don't think they said alive because they didn't know he was dead yet, but
Right.
just asking questions about any medicines he takes, does he smoke, you know, this, that, and the third. And I remember I was just like hyperventilating. They kept trying to tell me to calm down. They're like, we need you to calm down and breathe. What? Okay. So just a lot of questions. And I remember asking, I was like, is he just like gone? Like, and she's like, we don't know. The cops, you know, are in there right now, you know, checking everything out. And I remember I asked if I could call my brother. Mm-hmm. And it was like had to be like 6:30 in the morning. So I think my brother knew something was wrong, obviously, for me to be calling that early on a holiday.
Right.
And again, I wasn't like, Chris hadn't been like pronounced dead yet.
Right.
So I was just like, Chris isn't breathing. And my brother was like, good old Oscar. He's like, thanks for the pillow. My brother's like, I'm on my way. MedStar's like, tell him not to rush. I was like, he's gonna rush. I don't know what to tell.
Right.
I don't know what to tell you. I just told him my husband's not breathing. And I feel like it wasn't long after that the officer came out and he was like, unfortunately, he is dead. And then I feel like my brother shortly walked in afterwards.
Yeah.
Because I remember like seeing my brother walk down the hall and I was just like screaming, like, he's dead, like, he's gone. And my brother was like, what? So, yeah. We don't know, like, when he passed.
Right.
Because we had went to bed shortly after midnight. I woke up around 6:30 in the morning and he was already gone. He was also like cold and like, I don't know, not frozen, but like
Cooler.
stiff.
Yeah. Okay. There you go.
Stiff. So yeah, they had taken my brother and I to like a room across the hall and just tons and tons of questions. And I just remember sitting on the edge of the bed, first trying to breathe, first of all, like crying, trying to breathe. And then remember like the MedStar woman standing in front of me. My brother was sitting next to me. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck? Like, I just kept saying, what the fuck? What do I do? What is going on? Well, the woman is telling me if I don't calm down, she's going to have to take me to the hospital. Ma'am, I mean, at the time, I didn't say anything, but my husband just
You were
died.
in shock and yeah.
And she looked at me and she's like, you should probably start calling people. And like, how do you do that? I don't even have it wrapped around my head that my husband is gone.
Right.
And now this woman is telling me to call people, call his family. What?
Yeah.
And I was like, I mean, I have to call his parents. And I just was like, I can't call. Like, how do you call someone's parents and tell them that their child is no longer here?
Right.
And so MedStar was like, do you want me to call? And I was like, no, that just seems so...
Yeah, impersonal.
Yeah. I think my brother, he either took my phone or his, and he went he went somewhere and called Becky, Chris's mom.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And so, like, I just remember calling people for a little bit. I had called his best friend who lived in Chicago. That one was hard. I don't feel like I called that many people.
Yeah.
Like, by the time I started calling some people, like, you just, call one person in the family, they
Yeah.
are like, we got it. Kara showed up. I don't even know when it was. So I had tried calling Kara at 6-something in the morning on a holiday, and she didn't answer. And by the time she had woken up and started calling me back, it was like I was already nonstop phone calls.
Right.
It was nonstop phone calls, or the officers were coming in and asking questions. So I couldn't even answer the phone. I literally, because at that point, it like sank into her like something's wrong. Why would she call me at 6-something on a holiday?
Right.
And I literally had to text her that Chris was gone. Mm-hmm. I literally think I was like, Chris is either dead or died or something. Then the next thing I know, she came up to the hotel. Yeah, people just like started showing up. The questions did not stop for hours. Like, different people, all the same questions.
Right.
And then at one point, I think it was the medical examiner, he was like, so do you have a funeral home? I literally looked at him and I was like, what? He's like, do you know what funeral we're going to? I was like, his dad doesn't even know he's gone yet because his dad was at work and his mom was waiting for him to get home so she didn't have to tell him over the phone.
Gotcha.
And I'm like, and they're in Ohio. And I'm like, I don't know if we're having this in Ohio and Michigan. Like,
Right.
I don't know. I wasn't planning for my husband to die.
But you're put on the spot now to make decisions.
Yeah. So I was like, you need that now? He's like, yeah, not now, but within the next hour. Sir, that is now. That's
Seriously.
now. So thankfully my brother, he really stepped into like brother mode because he literally handled all of that.
Yeah.
And, he's like, do you have any idea? I'm like, it's a fucking funeral home. I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't have a preference. What?
Right.
So yeah, he handled all of that. And it was a while before like they came and got him, like his body out of the room. Like it was, I don't know, 5-ish hours
Yeah.
that we're just sitting in the hall, or not in the hall, in the room across the hall. So yeah, the whole day is just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
One of his sisters did come to the hotel. She lived nearby at the time.
Okay.
So she came, she wanted to see his body. Like I remember calling his mom and saying, hey, she wants to come and like see the body. I'm like, I don't know if that's a good idea. And she was
Right.
like, yeah, I don't think it is. But she was like, I guess if she does, just make sure she's not alone.
Right.
And her husband had came too. So like he went in with her, I believe.
Okay.
But yeah, it's wild. Like you don't think that's going to happen to you. I was
Right.
36. He was 33.
Yeah.
And yeah, he slept a lot the day before, but before we went to bed, everything was normal.
Right.
We were up for a few hours talking, watching TV, laughing, joking.
Right.
So yeah.
And then you woke up to that. Mm-hmm. Okay. How is it kind of retelling the story? I know you've retold the story a few times, but like, how is it when you retell these stories?
I'm usually okay retelling them. I have flashbacks a lot.
Yeah.
So like visually, I still picture it multiple times a week. Like
Yeah.
the day just flashes through my head. Like when I found him, it just flashes. So I'm normally okay telling it. I'm always more worried about the other person.
Right.
And like, am I telling too much? Am I going to trigger them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I have become so comfortable talking about death, and not a lot of people are,
For sure.
but it's a part of my reality, so I have no choice.
Right.
So, make shit awkward.
'Tis life. I mean, you didn't plan it that way. Like, it just,
Right. My fucking life
happened.
is awkward.
just happened. So
So,
he's like curled up in a ball, ready to go to bed.
I wish I was him.
Right? Seriously.
Oscar, not Chris.
Valid point.
To be fair.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and that was a tough day, and one that you'll probably never ever forget.
The way it replays in my head, I'll never fucking forget it. And it's so vivid.
Yeah.
Like the details I can remember are just insane.
Well, and that was the most shocking day,
Yeah.
right? And the first week or two was a whirlwind. You had a lot going on. You had a lot to do. You had a lot of people around.
There's so much going on like the first week or two that, yeah, you're shocked, but you don't have time to really process
Right.
everything.
You're just go, go, go.
Yeah, you're planning funerals. His family's from Ohio, so it's like coordinating with them to have them come and check out the funeral and
Yeah.
plan it. Like, what?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So then after a couple weeks, when all that was over, you had to figure out life.
Yeah, shit got
Shit got real.
real.
Yep. All right. Maybe that's where we pick up next time.
That's a wrap for the Therapist and the Wildcard. One of us brings the therapy, and the other brings the chaos. Together, we'll be back with more laughter, healing, and everything in between.